Well, good evening. Glad you guys could all come, and hello to all of you out there in YouTube land who dialed in for this tonight. We just want to take a little bit of time tonight to make sure that we recognize you guys and honor you guys for the accomplishments you had this year. Weird year, you know. Without a doubt, it's been a strange year. And quite honestly, last summer, I really didn't think we were going to be able to have a season. I really didn't. I thought they were just going to say no football in the fall. So I was excited and relieved when we were finally able to have a season. And my biggest hope at that point was that we got to finish the season on the field. And we did that. We made it all the way through. We didn't have any games canceled on us. Freshman game was the only one that we lost to the COVID. And we were able to have our season, and I think I'm really grateful and thankful that we were able to do that. Along the way, we had a pretty good season. We really did. So, a few announcements, and this is mostly for YouTube land out there. If any of you guys want more wristbands, I've got a bunch. Okay, so I will get those down here. Feel free to snag those. I'll probably put them in the weight room when that finally opens up again. So they're in there, and you can snag those if you want them, or if mom and dad want some more of those, go ahead and snag those. I've probably got half a dozen posters. So if there's anybody that wants a poster, parents, anybody that wants a poster, text me, email me, let me know. First come, first serve on those. When the all-state teams are announced, and that should be probably not, maybe next week, the all-state teams will be announced. We'll have the season summary booklet. Parents, every year I put together a season summary with all of our stats, with all of our scores, a lot of information in that regard, weight room information, as well as I update our records. And that will be available to your sons. So lots of times I print them off, set them in the weight room, and nobody takes them. So parents, please encourage your son to snag one of those so he can have that as a keepsake down the road. The other thing, as always, that we do, we have playoff plaques. Elite Sports down in Williamsburg does these for us. This is last year's. I just brought along as a little eye candy. If you want one of those, they're $25. I've got forms for those. I will try to get those out to the parents also electronically. So you've got those, and I think it's December 7th. Get those turned back in. We'll get those ordered if you want one of those. It's a nice keepsake to have also. We don't make any money off the deal, but it's something if you're interested, feel free. I think I've got one left from last year other than my own. So if anybody didn't get one last year and wants one, let me know about that also. Okay, I've got to take some time for some thank yous, like I do every year. At the end of the day, and I say this all the time, football is the ultimate team sport. It's the ultimate team sport because there are so many moving pieces on a football team that have to work for a successful play, for a successful game, for a successful season. But there's just as many moving parts off the field that have to work together also. And I want to take a couple minutes to thank some of those people. I'm going to start off by thanking Shannon Peveril, our school nurse. There was one point in time when we first started the season, Miss Peveril and I probably text or phoned each other 5 times a day, trying to get our way through this COVID thing. And she was outstanding with that. She always kept me informed. She did an outstanding job with that, and I really thank her for all that she did for us. Our administration, Mr. Stockdale, Mr. Dravinga, great support for our program, great faith in our program. Athletic director, Mr. Eichmeyer, does a lot of things that nobody really sees. They're behind the scenes, and he does a ton of things to keep our program going. The secretarial staff, Julie, Annie, Sarah, a couple new rookies in there this year. When I lost all of those experienced secretaries, I was a little bit panicked because they do a lot of things for me remotely since I can't be here. but the new gals stepped up and they did a great job. Parents, thank you. Meals, posters, all of that kind of stuff. And I say this all the time. Those things don't happen everywhere. And I think our guys need to understand and be grateful for the great support that our parents at Dike New Hartford show, because those things don't happen everywhere. There are a lot of schools where the parents are just kind of hands off and stand back. Excuse me. Our parents do a great job with that. Parents, thank you very much. Cheerleaders and their coaches, they did a great job this year also. Our stats this year, Alex Picorni was on the sideline doing stats. Mr. Eichmeyer helped a time or two with that also. I appreciate that. Filmer, Joe Huck, Levi Adolphs, our trainer, Kayla, she always does a great job. Doc Wingert, appreciate having him on our sideline. He gets nothing out of it other than he likes being there, being a part of it, and helping out. And I appreciate what he does. Our junior high coaches, excuse me, I gotta get a drink. I'd have a bottle of water, but you know. I don't want to let you guys down, make you think I changed. Our junior high coaches, Coach Picorni, Coach Huck, Coach Maple, and Coach Wright do a great job down there at the junior high program. Our coaching staff here, I say this as loud and as often as I can. We have an outstanding coaching staff here. And I don't know if anybody realizes, you take the accumulated years of experience of our coaching staff, and it's somewhere up around 175 years of high school football coaching experience. That's a tremendous amount of experience. And very, very few schools around the state, and probably none of them our size, can come anywhere close to that. We've got a great coaching staff here, and they do a great job. Coach Moore, Coach Meester, Coach Dahl, Coach Conley, Coach Soppy, Coach Jensen, Coach Fries, Coach Bixby, and Coach McMartin. And then I want to take a minute to also thank the families of our coaches. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes in at home for those guys to be able to come here and work with you guys. Okay? When they're here coaching you guys, for the most part, they're away from their kids, they're away from their family. And I think we need to recognize that and thank the parents or the families of those coaches for all that they allow us to do too. And then lastly, my wife, Sally, couldn't do this without her. All right, a few comments and we'll get to the heart of the matter here. Tremendous season. We returned 4 players with significant varsity experience this year. It's been a long, long time since we came back with such little experience. Okay, so we had a long way to go. And unfortunately, we had a lot of obstacles in the way with COVID. Things that we missed. Track. A full summer in the weight room. 7-on-7. All of that bonding and all of that learning that goes on there that we missed were obstacles in our way. And it took us a little bit to get rolling. It took us a while to get going. But we did. And you guys overcame the obstacles. And usually, if I think back, I can think of all of the teams that I've coached. And there's one thing that stands out about them. For this team, that's it. The way you guys kept battling and overcoming obstacles. And we go down to Oskaloosa, play a 3A school, and yeah, they weren't a real good 3A school, but they're a 3A school. And after their first touchdown drive, I've got you guys on the sideline, and it's like deer in the headlights look. We were a little shell-shocked about varsity football. And we could have laid down, but we didn't. And you guys battled and fought, and we ended up getting a win down there. We come back, and we get Grundy Center. Everybody wants to beat Grundy Center, I know. You know, everybody wanted to beat them. But they're probably going to be state champions. Okay, they've got one of those once in every 30 years, once in a generation teams this year. And we kind of got beat around a little bit. But we showed up to practice the next week and we worked to get better. And then we had to play in that mud bowl out here. against South Hamilton. Once again, came up short. Score wasn't indicative of how close that game was. But all of those obstacles we had to battle through, we're sitting there 1-2, and you guys could have thrown in the towel and said, that's it. But you didn't. You didn't. You showed up for practice. You kept getting better. You kept battling. You kept overcoming obstacles. Then we go on a run. We get a good win over AP. I guess every win over AP is a good win, so. But we got a good win over AP, win over South, a good South Hardin team. That was a good football team. Not great, but that was a good team, and we handled them pretty solid. And then we had Hudson, East Marshall to finish the year. We're exploding into the playoffs. We get a good win over Jessup in the first round, and we get a tough matchup in the second round and go over to South Central Calhoun. Came a couple plays away, didn't we? I really thought that might have been our best game of the year. And why? Because we battled and fought and kept scrapping. And that team that we could have beaten, we were right there with, end up in the dome. You guys had a tremendous year. From where we started to where we ended up, you guys did a tremendous job. And I couldn't be prouder of that. Awesome job. I want to make sure, and I'm saying this out there to YouTube land more than anything, I want to make sure that we understand how good a year this was and that we celebrate this. And okay, yeah, we didn't get as far as we wanted, but it was a great year. And we need to make sure that we never take this stuff for granted. We had a great year because these guys down here worked their tail off and kept coming back and kept getting better. And we need to celebrate that, and we need to make sure that we stay proud of that, and we never, ever take that for granted, the year that these guys had. Great job, gentlemen. All right, let's move on to the goodies. Let's start with participants. I'll go freshmen first. Freshmen, your certificates are over here. So come on up here and stand up here, and then I'll move you along and move on from there. Zachary Edelman, Will Rogers, Walker Weedman, Ty Deering, Tristan Knutson, Mike Valentine, Michael Walston, Lucas Ragsdale, Liam Eichenberg, Jace Jensen, Jacob Epley, Jacob Wood, Evan Brewer, Ethan Kirby, Cole McCumber, Chase Lear, Chance Knipp, Brendan Birch, Blaine Schmidt. You might have to sort through them, guys. They don't jump off the stage into your hands. Once you get them, stand there for a minute, and we'll all turn and look and smile at the camera. Got them? Turn and smile at the camera, folks. Gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Great job, freshmen. I'll let you guys go. Juniors and sophomore participants. Trevor Folkerts, Camden Cannigator, Johnny Wenger, Gus Varney, Caden Buskell, Caleb Paulson, Benton Bixby, Phoenix Jones, Tanner DeWall. You guys are right there. Yep, that pile right there, if you can help hand some of those out. Tanner, I got you here, bud. Come on up, come on up. Get your certificates, turn and smile and wave at the camera, mom and dad. Give them a round of applause, gentlemen. Letter winners. I'm going to start with the managers. Bailey Schmines, Katrina Miller, Delphia McCallum, Summer Bertram, Josie Wenger. Come on up, gals. I think, Delphia, I think you've got a pile of stuff right there. And Josie, there's yours. Turn and smile at the camera. Our managers do a tremendous job. They do a lot of things for us. They are always underappreciated by most people except me, and I appreciate everything they did. Thank you, ladies, for all you did. Okay, I'm going to run through our varsity letter winners. Sophomores, juniors, seniors, come up and kind of fill in here as I call you. Get your stuff and fill in, and we'll talk a little bit. Sophomores, Jarek Hall, Braxton Johnson, Jace Hall, Will Texter, who was honorable mention all-district, Nick Reinecke, who was second team all-district offensive line, Brewer Reichenberg, Blaze Ackerson, Rhett Wardell, Parker Adams, Jake Starbuck, Jacob Stockdale, Isaac Deerfield, Nate Graves, who was an honorable mention all-district player, Cole Graves, who was also an honorable mention all-district player, Devin Kolash, who was first team all-district utility player, Nolan Dahl, who was first team all-district kicker, and Cale Jensen, who was first team all-district defensive line. Seniors, Eli Epley, Braden Brown, Adam Hasbrook, Reed Eamon, honorable mention all-district, Nathan Moore, first team all-district quarterback, Caleb Brower, first team all-district linebacker, Jacob Moore, first team all-district offensive line, Dylan Ort, second team all-district linebacker, Drew Larson, first team all-district running back, Dane Fuller, first team all-district wide receiver. Give him a round of applause, gentlemen. Let's stay here for just a minute, guys. I gotta sneak right back there. I've got your all-district certificates right here, guys. Tell you what, when we're done, if you were all-district player, come and get your certificate here. We'll do it that way. Academic all-district. You needed to be a varsity starter or a manager with a 3.50 GPA. So our academic all-district, Katrina Miller, Delphia McCallum, Cole Graves, Nick Reinecke, Will Texter, Nolan Dahl, Dane Fuller, Drew Larson, Nathan Moore, and Jacob Stockdale, our starting holder. Round of applause. Started, right? Yeah. And we had, need back here again, guys. Not only was Caleb Brower first team all-district linebacker, Caleb was also the district most valuable player defensively. Caleb? Well deserved. All right. Why don't, well, seniors, you stay here. Why don't I have everybody else go sit for a minute? You can spread out down here a little bit, guys. Get in front of the camera so mom and dad can see your face or see your mask, one of the two. I want to talk first to these guys out here, okay, the guys who are coming back next year. When we meet for a final time this season, we visit a little bit, and then I excuse these guys, and I always tell these guys, turn around and look around because that's next year's team. Okay? That's the group that we've got coming back next year. Now, advantage we have over last year, we've got a ton of experience. Ton of experience coming back. Okay? But experience doesn't mean anything if you don't take advantage of it. And that's the challenge for you guys. Okay, I've said this many times. Right now, your biggest priority probably shouldn't be football. You've got your winter sports, you've got your academics, you've got other things going on. But somewhere up here, somewhere, football needs to be a priority. Because if it isn't, if we wait till this summer to make it a priority, we're going to be extremely disappointed with the product we get next year. Next season begins now. Next season begins now. You've got all those other things to take care of, but you need to be working to next football season also. If we want to do the things that, in conversations with you guys and meetings that I've had, we've got some high expectations. Is it all talk, or are we going to do something about it? That's really what it comes down to. It's actions, not words, guys. We can talk a good game all we want. What are you really willing to do? Our weight room's closed right now, isn't it? Can't get in there in the mornings, can we? Hey, doing nothing's not an option just because it's closed. What have you been doing the last week? Sleeping in? Or are you getting your butt out of bed and doing something? Every single one of you, last spring, I sent you an at-home workout. Okay? I've got paper copies of them right there. Doing nothing is not an option. Doing nothing is not an option. Not if we want to have any kind of season next year. Not if we want to have the high expectations that you guys talk about. That's the challenge for you guys, is to turn that talk into actions. As we go forward and we're able to get back in the weight room, we're going to change things up just a little bit in there. I've talked to all of you about getting out of your comfort zone. Okay? We're going to have some printouts for you where we tell you how much weight to put on that bar so we can start making some big gains. Maintaining is not an option. We need to get stronger. Almost every one of you on your sheet said we need to be more physical. Almost every single one of you. Physical starts in that weight room. Physical starts in the weight room. And we need to get back to having that attitude in there that we're going in, busting our tail, coming out just drenched in sweat, and getting better every day. Because if you're not coming out drenched in sweat, you just wasted your time, and you wasted your teammates' time. And we're going to have problems next fall. That's the challenge for you guys. Turn that talk into actions. Seniors, you guys had a great run. You really did. You know, you look at your 4-year career. 34 wins, 9 losses in 4 years of high school. Not a lot of teams can say that. 4 trips to the playoffs. Okay? We're at 11 consecutive trips to the playoffs that you guys extended that. Had a trip to the dome in there, a state runner-up finish in there. Thank you for all that you did for our football team this year and for our football program. As I said, the legacy you guys left, you show up, you do the work, you keep battling. That's the message you guys need to take from this group right here. Show up, do the work, and keep battling. Appreciate everything you guys did. I've got a couple of things here for you. Got a black jersey for you. Guys, the black jerseys are 6-0. Okay? 6-0, they're undefeated. I've got a black jersey for all of you with your name on it. Thank you very much. The other thing I have for everybody is little sling bags with your name and your number on it. My way of saying thanks. Appreciate all you guys did. Give them a round of applause, guys. All right, we only have one thing left to do. On the way out the door, eat pizza. There's lots of pizza out there. I don't want any of it left over. Okay, so Take some on the way as you go. Thank you for dialing in to all the folks who dialed in out there in YouTube world. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you very much.